Warning, Dazz Radio is not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. 1K Frequency is not intended to replace professional advice, and our views may not necessarily reflect those views of our featured guests.
Great to have you here with us. Welcome to 1K Frequency with your hosts, Dazzo, Skittlekicks, and Atlas.
What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to 1K Frequency episode number 14. And we got Mr. Skittlekicks in the house.
Yo.
Yo. What's good in the hood?
Well, not much. Just chilling out. Yeah, just kind of chilling.
Sounds boring.
Waiting for a job interview, but probably I'm pretty black-pilled on it, so I probably won't get hired anyway, because reasons. But
Yeah.
You never know. So we'll find out. I mean, obviously, I only submitted my application on Friday, so I don't expect anything anytime soon, just because how stuff works these days. So.
What up, Lincoln?
But it would be nice to at least get a little bit of income, because I don't like being POW. Dude, I'm so poor, I can't afford the R, so I say POW.
Yep, the Poe.
The POW. But I have to give credit to my fiance, because she's the one that told me that and made me laugh. So I was like,
Show Poe.
we POW. We so POW. Actually, one of my favorite lines was, I'm so broke, I can't even afford to pay attention. So anyway, but yeah, not much else going on really around here. Still obsessed with my obsession that's obsessing my life and really just ruined everything about me. But that's okay because I still have fun learning things and educating myself. So getting close to 1,800 hours. Getting close.
1,800 hours. That's insane.
I know. I'm crazy. So, anyway. But yeah, that's, kind of what I'm up to. I've been helping my dad kind of prep our garage for, or his garage to build that storage room in there.
Yeah.
And whenever I get my ass back down to Texas to pick my stuff up. I don't really want to do this because my whole point of leaving it down there was just so I didn't have to keep driving it back down there once I do move down there permanently. But it's a lot of money to pay for a storage unit that started off at like under $100 and now it's over $100. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. So
yeah, I have to cut your losses. Unfortunately,
I do, and it sucks though because it's quite a bit of money to go from Texas to Minnesota.
Yep.
So
I know that.
with a pit stop in Nebraska. Which is actually good because I can get some sleep. I can actually do a drive from Minnesota to Nebraska pretty well. I can handle that.
Yep.
And then going from Nebraska to Texas on like one night's sleep, that's totally fine with me. Because I can do 600 miles. I just can't do over 1,000 anymore. Like I've done that once, twice in my life. I can't do that ever again. Not nonstop. So my body will not. My body says no.
Yeah.
You're too old for this. You're too old for this shit.
You're not in your 20s.
And besides, if I don't have a nice big, nice decent recreational vehicle like a big camper or whatever, it makes it even more difficult because I can't sleep in that thing.
Yep.
I'm not sleeping in my van because that really sucks, and I'm not in ghetto, so Anyway, but yeah, other than that, not much else going on around my world. It's warming up a little bit, but we're still. We're still dealing with still a lot of snow on the ground.
It's cold today.
Storm and
we got fucking snow.
Yeah. Well, you're Canada, so let your maple syrup freeze. But no. The only other thing too is just various projects. I may have to cancel my doctor's appointment next week if I get that job because it probably will conflict. So, kind of sucks, but money's important. right now to pay bills
Yep.
and to move. So, other than that, that's about it. What about you, Mr. Dazzo?
Yeah. Working as usual.
Yeah. Not ready to say take this job and shove it?
Not yet. But soon.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time.
You've said that for like the last year and a half, so I don't.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
First,
So what are you working on right now for projects?
this week, well, technically until next Wednesday, I'm in the production studios doing commercials. So yay!
Are these new ones?
8 days
for,
of technical, away from the engineering side of things. You don't want to call it that.
So are you like loading the stuff in the system, or are you helping create?
Doing everything. Producing,
Really?
remaking, all of that good stuff.
So are you running the board then? I'm assuming.
In a sense. In a certain sense.
Okay. So what you gotta do is say, "Hey, you fucked up. That's not good enough. Do it again."
Yep.
You misread that line.
Yep.
Slow down. Speed up. Slow down. It's like that episode of Bugs Bunny where where he becomes Leopold, and he's a conductor, and he makes that opera singer like just go all over the place with his voice or whatever. I totally see you doing something like that with your producer mentality, trying to get people to read script or whatever. So are you compiling like the actual
Oh, yeah.
final production?
Oh yeah.
So you take the raw file, you edit it, and then
I
you add
edit,
all
I
the music beds
produce
and all that stuff.
everything.
Wow. See,
Just
why
'cause
aren't
I
you
have
doing
the
that full
background.
time? I mean, that's fucking more fun in my opinion.
Yeah, unfortunately, we only have 2 production studios. One's for commercials, and then one's for technically pre-recorded stuff. And
The live stuff, right? Or the pre-records.
yeah, and they're both spots are taken, so it's whatever.
So
I have
you're
the
only
background.
filling then.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
I have the
Did you start off being an assistant on the boards like in your early days?
yeah, technically.
So
I knew how production worked for like
Sure.
the last 10 years.
Okay. Spill the beans. How many of your quasi performers are multi-take?
I don't know.
And how many multi-takes do you have to go through in a session?
Usually, depending on the producer, we don't go through that many takes. Usually, everyone's pretty decent.
You're being awfully generous.
No, I'm being serious.
Yeah, for me, I'm
Usually.
like 50. I'm a 50-take skittle,
Usually.
But if I even fuck up one line, like if I'm right at the end and I fuck up one line, I don't just bounce a new part into it,
Well,
or
yeah, of
cut a
course.
piece in.
Because,
I will just start the whole fucking thing over again.
yeah.
Yep, that's why it takes me so long. Because if I fuck up one time, like one little thing, it's all about not fucking up. I will literally redo it, even if it's like a song. If I'm like 2 minutes into my song and I fuck up one note, I will start it over again.
That's the tech side of things.
No, that's the perfection side of things. This is me being overly anal about how I do shit. So yeah, I don't think I'd be a really good producer per se, like putting shit like that together, like live recording stuff, because I have to be so like anti-anal about that stuff because nothing would ever get done. Can you imagine if I had to do sound editing for a movie? Oh, that fart just wasn't the correct pitch yet. Gotta change it. It's gotta be more. It's gotta have a little more. What is it? It's gotta have some more grease in that. It's gotta have a little more grease in it.
Jeez. Dude, that'd be fucking.
That would be me. Yep, that grease. That fart
my
wasn't greasy
God.
enough.
Yeah, go eat some more Taco Bell. That'll do it for you.
Here we go. We'll spot you some Taco Bell stuff. Here you go. This should push it through. Oh, not enough. Not enough. Okay, here's some refried beans for you. Oh, they're not cooked. Don't worry about not cooking them. That's okay. They're fine out of the can.
Jesus.
Oh, still not good. It's not greasy enough. Here's some steak. Here's some like greasy steak for you. and enjoy all the fat and all that cholesterol too.
God. Oh
And
my
then you get the
God.
then you get the perfect take, and then they're like, I poop myself.
Oh my God.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that'd
that's
be one
how.
of
I mean,
them.
honestly, that's how I am. I'm like in the studio. I want to accomplish something, but I will be honest, my own like perfectionism just gets in the way so many times.
See, I was gonna do that too, the whole perfection kind of thing, but then I have to work under the guy that I'm covering for, so I have to follow his directions.
Okay. So you can just sit on your ass and do a whole lot of nothing. Fantastic. That's a great
Yeah.
life.
Nah. Well, that's fun
That's
though.
cool.
It's 8 days of not doing anything in the engineering department. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, you're not going to the tower, to fuck with stuff over there anymore
Hey,
right now.
I don't
So
mind
that's
going to
good.
the tower. At least it gives me a day time out of the office.
Fair enough, but then again, it's cold weather, so I mean, that means dragging your ass out to a vehicle, getting in your vehicle cold, getting your vehicle to warm up, and then take off, go drive, spend a few
I don't
hours
mind
over
doing
there,
that.
and then to get back in the cold car and drive all the way
I don't
back
mind doing that.
home. And
I don't mind doing that.
it's so funny. I remember like in the old days, like they would use a canary in the cave when they were
God.
mining for coal. I can see you doing that with like maple syrup. How cold is it? Well, let's see if my maple syrup is frozen yet. I will tell you how many layers to wear. The
Dude, this
maple
thing
syrup
is
never lies.
this fucking Libre is fucking itching me like the last day and a half. I don't know why. And I was not doing this before. But
Sounds
for
like a
some
skill
reason
issue.
it started fucking itching.
Sounds
Started
like a skill
actually-
issue.
Actually, I think it was like last night it started itching.
You probably got dry skin. That's
No.
probably what it is.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you got the cootie crud. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
So, well, I
Oh,
guess. What's
I
that?
did find this out today.
Oh, what's that?
Dr. Daniel Drucker, one of the 5 researchers jointly awarded the money for his work on ushering the new era in the GLP-1 medications for cardiometabolic disorders.
And how much you want to bet those are going to be fucking expensive as hell?
$3 million.
No, I mean for the pills themselves. Like once they're actually produced.
It's already so technically, from what I was
Are they-
doing my research on, the GLP-1 is being used with Ozempic, Wegovy, and all that fucking crap. It's in there. And apparently, he's one of the 5 researchers that got $3 million US as a award.
Yeah,
Insane.
let's just dope the world some more. Yeah, let's not fix our food problem and take all the shit out of food so we don't have these fucking problems in the first place. Let's just keep drug the world, because that's what we're good at. That fucking yeah. I don't. I don't. Yep, exactly. We don't need to go down that path because I will rant, and a Skittle rant is not required today.
Yep.
I've already got enough shit to be pissed off about as it is, so because that's coming up in the show later on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't really read about it. I was like, what the fuck is this all about? But now that you're saying it's about medication, like, meh. Because what it's going to be a drug that's going to be like a freaking Pfizer drug, which means it's not going to be a generic, which means it's going to be fucking expensive. Insurance companies won't cover it because it's too new or whatever bullshit. It'll take about 10 years for a generic to come out, and that's not blocked by some stupid ass. So, yeah. Great. Making drugs to kill people one day at a time. Fantastic. Sounds like that game Schedule 1. Yeah.
Speaking of Schedule
Anyway.
1, that game's been pretty high on the Steam list.
Did you also know they're getting sued?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yep. Yeah, what is it, that Drug Runner game or whatever? The company behind that is actually suing. So now that company is now getting shit on in the comments
Yep.
because they're going after. It's like, well, if it is an if it's like an IP violation, then they're within their full right to do that. You know?
Yeah.
And I know
It's funny.
somebody. I was watching one of Squirrel's VODs last couple days, and somebody asked him if he was actually going to play that game, Schedule 1. He's like, no. First of all, no. Second of all, hell no. It's like, it's not, I mean, why? Like, do people not understand that guy's like a very, very PG channel, and rarely ever drops any kind of cuss words,
Yeah.
and has
He's
been
really
very
good at
clean
that,
cut
though.
for. I'm sure it takes a lot because
Yeah.
he has people like.
He has
Puppy.
kids watching and all that
Passionate-
shit. So it's like.
What's that?
Yeah.
I enjoy watching it because it's kind of chill, you
Mhm.
know. But I usually just have it in the background while I'm doing other stuff. But
Hey,
You know?
don't get me wrong. I love watching Squirrel, man. He's a good dude.
yeah, yep.
He was
Yeah.
one of the guys that I actually started watching when I was in my late teens. And I was like, oh.
He's
Keep
one my brother told me about years ago, talking about Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Yep.
Because he was big into that one for like the longest time, and then he retired it. And so I just kind of followed him. I was like, you know, if I want to watch somebody actually have a lot of fun with simulation games, I'd go to his channel,
Yep.
you know, over anybody else's, because he actually makes it entertaining, you know, versus like, you know, other people I've watched over the years. I'm like, you know,
Mhm.
it's like, especially the one thing that annoys me, and I know I'm guilty of this, but I was trying to watch somebody of this group play Fast Food Simulator, and I shit you not, nothing turned me off more than literally everybody talking over each other.
Yeah.
That is, oh my god, that's so obnoxious. It's like, do you people hear yourselves? Do you understand that you are talking over each other? Do you know how annoying that is to listen to that? I literally could only watch like 3 minutes. And I was like, I'm just done. I couldn't even watch and enjoy it. I'm like, you know, I'm out. You know, and yeah, this was a relatively large YouTuber who had his friends with him, but I'm like, it's so fucking annoying. It is
Yeah,
absolutely so fucking
I get
annoying that I'm like, dude, I cannot watch your content if you do not have your friends talking over each other. You know, look, I'm guilty of it too on occasion, but you know, I don't fucking sit there and just, you know, talk to hear myself talk when I'm playing with other friends. You know, yeah, if I get pissed or whatever, but it's different than what this is. Is, you know, it's like, dude, shut up. Just one at a time. Like, do you not understand? Like, you know, almost want to say, like, raise your hand for permission to talk. You know. Anyway, so yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, so but yeah, Squirrel. That's why I like watching Squirrel, because although, you know, there is some shit that's really funny. Like, I like listening to his friend Passionate Puppy just rage at certain points. Like this guy will just rage. Doesn't cuss, just rages. He's like, well, I don't rage, I'm passionate. No, dude, you rage. And in fact, it's funny because a while back, somebody had created a new emoticon just for him. It's literally one of the little dog icons that Squirrel has. It's based on his now passed away pup. But it's basically a dog beating a drum. And every time he rants, they literally spam the hell out of that icon. So much so that it pissed him off so much that he literally had to block the icon.
Wow. I remember that.
Yeah, that was funny. So, I don't know if anybody else has been living under a rock. I certainly didn't realize this, but apparently Nintendo actually had a big event a couple days ago. I think it was the 4th, no, the 2nd of April, announcing the Switch 2. And they announced the launch date. They announced some new games and some other games that are going to be coming from third party. They introduced a new piece of hardware and many other things. So I wanted to kind of get into that because I didn't catch the live thing, so I didn't know about it. So I watched Razor Fist from the channel Rageaholic, and he watched the broadcast. It was unannounced, so he did not announce it, but I caught the VOD, and I'll be honest, I think the Switch 2 is going to do phenomenal. Because A, it's being released when nothing else is being released for consoles. There are a couple of games that are definitely going to be high sellers. That's the new Mario Kart World. And I'm going to say that either 007 or there's one other game they're going to release too, which I forget now. That might be like, this is what's going to do it. The Donkey Kong, a new Donkey Kong. Although I will admit, I'm not a fan of the new design of Donkey Kong. He looks very derpy, but it is what it is.
Derpy. But
Donkey Kong is a legendary game. It's been around for, over 40 years now? And it's got a legacy, I mean, it was on Atari before Nintendo. So, and it was in the arcades before both of those. So it's got the legacy, and it's pretty cool. But I think the Mario Kart World, I'm actually that's cool because they've actually now made it where you can go anywhere you want in that world. You don't even have to drive the course. You can literally go off-roading. Nice. And there's no walls to block you. So you can go explore. That is cool, man. That is serious. And you can do it with your friends too. That is really cool. I mean, you could just skip the races or whatever, or even if you're during a race, you could just go drive off and go somewhere in the boonies, which I think that's pretty cool. And I think that will be a big seller for this. Now, funny enough, one thing I did notice, there is one thing that was not there, and I was surprised. What is a very iconic, well-known Nintendo character?
Mario.
And no, it's not Zelda. There is no new Mario game, as far as I know right now. That was because I guarantee that would have been a launch. That would have been a part of this live event. Guaranteed, because that is such an iconic character, and no mention of Mr. Mario. It's not me. So, I was kind of surprised because I think almost every Nintendo system since forever has always included some Mario Brother game, like traditional Mario platforming or whatever. But that was not this. I'm kind of surprised because I think even the original Switch got a Mario release. So either they're gonna port over the new one, or they're gonna port over the new system, or what?
Maybe they'll release a new one later once.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if maybe they've had some other internal games that have had to come out first, but you would think that would be like a priority, even over Mario Kart, to be honest, because but granted, you are getting a Mario type of game with Mario Kart. It's still not Mario Brothers like we've known since forever, since the arcades.
Let me see.
Since when was that? 84, I think, 85, when the first Super Mario Brothers came out. Or Mario Brothers came out in arcade, and then it went to Super Mario Brothers for Famicom, and then it was released to the US in 85. So, we've had Mario for a long time. But somebody made a comment in Razor's live chat when they got to this discussion of this new button they've added to their game control. C button. Now, what is the C button, you might ask? Well, the C button allows you to launch a chat. That's right. Now you can chat with your friends through the Switch. But there's a caveat. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for that feature. So it's not going to be rolled in. Nope, you got to pay for that. But the funny thing is, it's like, but every time they talked about something, they always had to mention, oh, the C button. Oh, have you seen our C button? Let us tell you about the C button. Can you believe this? This controller has a C button. It was literally like that every second of the week. I'm thinking, okay, we get it. You like your C button. Big deal. You're making people pay for a feature that something like Twitch already offers and YouTube offers for free. Don't understand, but it is Nintendo, and people will clamor for it. They will pay for it. I mean, that is just the lemming mentality.
Yeah.
They also are including a camera that you can purchase as well. Again, these are all day of launch. So Mario Kart, the chat, all that stuff, and the camera, that's all going to come out day one. There are two systems. I should have mentioned this. There's two systems that are going to come out right away. There's the base unit with no games. Just the deck, the controllers, which they have redesigned, and then which is, by the way, that's price tag is $449.99, and the other game that's going to include Mario Kart is going to be for $99.99.
No
So
surprise.
$500 game consoles now is crap. Now they did say
Not surprised.
that the new screen is bigger. So I think it went to just over 7 inches compared to the 6 and some odd decimals. I think it was like 6.3 originally on the original Switch, and then it was like 7 point something on the new one. So it's a little bit bigger. Now they did say it will be natively supporting 4K, but only at 60 FPS. If you want to go down to, let's say, 1080, you can then take full advantage of 120 frames per second.
Nice.
So, I mean, on a tiny screen like that, are you ever going to see that level of detail? No. On a big screen TV, oh, you will see it. If you're above 32 inches, you will see the high definition graphics for sure. That is why it's kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is.
So Mario Kart 9 is technically Mario Kart World in a sense. And
So
the
they're
game's gonna cost
revamping it
about
then.
$80.
Except, well, not
$80.
unless you buy except if you buy the console, though. Then that's only a $50 investment.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
pricey.
And that's the one thing
fucking
that people
pricey.
really, that's what people are pissed off about, is now we're getting up to $80 games. Is this the breaking point for gamers? Is this where gamers are going to say, fuck you, that's way too expensive now? Now you're getting ridiculously... I mean, look, when I was a kid, it was bad enough that games like Super Mario 3 was, what was it, like $39.99, I think, back when it first dropped? I mean, seriously, $39 back in those days, that was expensive for a
Yeah.
kid.
Yep.
Now we're talking triple that. Nearly triple that for a game.
Yep.
I don't agree with that. I don't think
That's-
games are really worth... Yeah, if you're not getting anything with it, you're not getting like some kind of free little whatever. I mean, I don't think $80 is worth.
I mean, I
But
understand.
it is only $50 if you get the console, though. That's the one thing. 'Cause it will.
I
increase the game cost
understand
by
Mario
$50.
Kart is technically a AAA game in a sense. In their
It
own.
is. Well, Nintendo's always been for the
Yep.
most part.
But yeah, that's steep for a console.
It is. $500 for a console.
I mean,
That
okay,
would
yeah,
that would include Mario Kart World. The base is only $50 cheaper. So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, dude, my PlayStation 1 originally stickered for $349, and that was in the late 90s. Late 90s.
yeah.
And that was state of the art. I mean, that was kind of ahead of its time. It wasn't as great as like the Neo Geo, because Neo Geo was pretty intense. But who could afford that system? Nobody that I know of. So, I don't know. This could be. I mean, look, people are going to lemming it. People are going to want it. People are going to desire it. Now, wouldn't this be a kick in the nuts? What if Nintendo shorts the market and only releases maybe 100,000 units in the States?
Would you think?
They did that with the Nintendo Classic, the little mini Nintendo.
Yeah, I
when they
remember
released that a few years ago. They shorted the market with that. And I think Sony did the same thing with the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5. I can't remember. One of those two decks, they did that. They shorted the market. Just to I think that really pissed off more customers, because I think a lot of people deserted the companies after that. But you would think that Nintendo would not want to do that, considering that this is a flagship unit. and their Nintendos have always been flagships, they wouldn't want to damage your reputation. But then again, they can get away with it.
What about with the whole tariffs?
I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to that. But
yeah.
But I want to get that in the news section. I want to get that in the news section because I want to deep dive into that. But yeah, I mean that's probably why. That's honestly probably why. But that's ironic because Japan's at the table right now for negotiations. So what the fuck?
I mean,
they're just no. I think this is because it's a high demand item. People love the new Switch. I mean, dude, it literally tanked the frickin' servers when they had over 1 million people watching the stream. It just tanked it because there were so many people watching. So yeah, this is in hot demand. This is going to be a huge commodity. It's probably already out in Japan by now. I guarantee they've already released theirs. They probably got theirs last year. Most likely. Much like Famicom was like a year before Nintendo released it in America. So,
let me double check that.
Yeah, go for it. So, some of the things that are coming out for some of the game titles, like I said, 007 is getting a launch. I don't remember if it's a remake or if it's a new version. They are bringing over, what's that? The last Zelda game that came out, what's it, Breath of Fire or Breath of Wind or something like that? I can't remember. I don't follow Zelda, but that one's being ported over now to the new Switch. One thing that they did say is the SD card. You cannot take the SD card from your old system and put it in the new one. They have changed how that works. The micro SD card is now a higher capacity. I think it's the HTC version, which has it's got like a higher bandwidth transfer. And that is interesting that they actually did that, but I get it because they want faster speed, whatever. So they did increase I think they did the size from what was the original storage of the original Switch? Wasn't it like 64 gigs? This is like 256 now.
I believe so.
So that's storing a lot of games. It will come with the docking station which is nice. And the controls have actually been modified so that they no longer kind of clip on. They actually are held on by magnets. And it was funny because think about what magnets do to a screen.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of fuck up the screen. But obviously they've got some kind of a really high-end shielding in there or something to protect them. And I think the other games are... Hades 2 is coming out. I never played the first one, but I've heard it's actually really... If you like, Greek god wars and things like that, like those type of things, or God of War, like Hades is a lot of fun. I think it is a hack and slash, if I recall. There's a couple of other games that they're releasing too. Which, if you go to like the Nintendo's website or whatever, they've got like a whole page dedicated. Although I did notice that the damn website lags so bad because they've got like full-size videos playing in the background, showing the different games, and it just lags the fuck out of my computer. I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding?
So it's not even out in Japan yet.
Really? They did not get it. To me, that's odd. To me, that's very odd. So is it coming out June 6th for them as well?
I believe so. I think it's a worldwide drop.
Oh, okay, well, obviously time zones are different, so they are, what are they, 14 hours ahead of us? No, they're almost 24 hours ahead of us. New Zealand is damn near a day ahead of us.
No, most of the Japan is technically 16 hours ahead of us.
Is that ahead of Eastern or Greenwich?
Eastern.
Okay.
I think.
So obviously it's going to be like Steam. It'll just roll out, globally. Every hour there's going to be a new area. Okay, that's. So, I mean, look, I love Nintendo. Since I was a kid, I only played a couple of the games. I only had one.
Yeah.
I haven't played consoles since PlayStation 2, the thin version. Honestly, I mean, yeah, I haven't owned one. I've played other ones, but I have not owned that particular own console. Frankly, I have probably better things to because I compute. So, and it's
so
not really being offered that I would say
yeah.
gonna tickle my fancy.
So I was right. Japan is 13 hours ahead of us.
Okay, okay. So they will get theirs obviously. But if they start that way, I'm sure they will. Which is
They'll
fine.
get theirs
I mean,
first.
You know, and that's totally fine. So moving along on this whole thing with Switch, as I said, I think it will be a top seller. I think I don't know what the other company's going to do, like what Microsoft and Xbox or Sony and PlayStation are going to do. Obviously, they're probably scrambling to get something out, maybe. But then again, they may not want to because I don't know how old the Series X and S are right now, and I don't know how old the PlayStation 5 is right now. But I will say the Switch, that's going to be just because it's Nintendo is going to be a mega seller. But as long as they don't short the market and scare up demand, this thing will probably be like a number one seller for sure across the board. Without, I mean, just on Mario Kart alone, that will move units, sure. More so than Donkey Kong, more so than the chat system or the cameras or the 007s or whatever. I think Mario Kart alone will move systems. That's how popular that game is. Because remember, when that first launched, the original Mario Kart came out for Super NES. And it was wildly popular. So, yeah, I would say that would be the kicker.
Hey, but beautiful.
It doesn't have money.
Amber Rose up in the house.
What up, girl?
She just leaving work. Boo.
Well, make sure you tune in. We got a late. By the way, we got a late start. We were like 5 minutes late because Dazzo had skill issues. Dazzo had skill issues, blaming his stuff on slowness.
Hey, speaking of skills, G-Skill just released the 128 gigabyte golden RAM kit.
I've got a golden RAM.
With DDR5 8,000 speeds. Woo!
Yeah.
That's going to be pricey.
That's going to be pricey. However, I mean, we're getting up to server level RAM now when you think about like how much you can put it. Because remember when there was a limit, like there used to be a lockout limit. Like Microsoft said, unless you have these versions of Windows, you cannot run beyond X amount of RAM.
Yeah.
And your motherboard is going to have to support that level of RAM. Remember, they are keyed, so you can't just put a DDR5 into just any old system. It's going to be keyed. They've done that forever. I saw that. Now, like, I love G-Skill. My favorites are the Ripjaws. Those are freaking fantastic. I have 16 gigs of Ripjaws in my computer right now. All 4 slots are used. And I have another set that I gave to my dad. It was my old 8 gigabyte versions. So 2 4. So I always buy in I always buy in pairs. I do not just buy one at a time. Like I buy them all in pairs. And I try to keep the clocks at the same speed. I also try to keep them to make sure that the numbers came out the assembly line relatively close together. This is kind of cool. I mean, coming from G-Skill, I'm a little surprised they're going with the whole golden look or whatever. But I mean, I get it. It's like I can't. It's not. They're not RGB. They are just gold, like a gold coating over the top of the heat shield.
Basically gold plated though.
Kinda, yeah. Which could also be fade over time because heat will fade those things, and if you have a hot computer, it'll be a problem. I didn't read that much into it, but the speeds are pretty impressive. Now I didn't see any clock speeds, so I don't know if they're like 7s or if they're lower than that. No, I don't know what the clock speeds are.
So it's
Um,
technically it's 264 gigabytes of RAM, basically.
okay. Well, at least they're not pairing it off as like 128 as one stick.
No, it's
So
264 gigs.
it's 260. That's fine because dual channel is actually the way to go. You always want to
Mm-hmm.
dual channel your just because your computer will be happy for you. Um, so
Imagine though having 128 gigabytes of RAM on your gaming PC.
dude,
That'd be
this
fucking insane.
we thought that. Okay, remember this though. 184 kilobytes was all we were ever going.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
think about how far we've come since that statement was made. Um, the thing is, though, one thing people have to remember is just because you have better RAM does not mean you negate your motherboard or your CPU because they all play together. And as I've always said, and this just comes from, the IT world, your computer is only going to be as fast as its slowest device.
Yep.
So you could have tons of RAM, but if your CPU sucks or if your hard drive sucks, even if you're on solid state or an M.2, it's still gonna make a difference. You're gonna have a bottleneck somewhere. To be honest, 64s would be really cool to run. I would love to because I like to feed RAM into my computers. I really do.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like the startup time though? Like
Ooh.
just starting up from a cold start to Windows, and you're like on the desktop within like maybe 4 seconds,
Yeah.
which is what people want. I mean, we want fast boot time, but I think the price is going to be at least 30 out the gate. Sorry.
Minimum.
$230 starting. That
Minimum.
that might be below MSRP too. That might be below MSRP, so I'm thinking maybe $300.
128 gigabyte.
And I don't think they're out yet. I don't think they're released yet.
No, they're not. From what I was.
I did read I read the article on PC World about this. So. Yeah.
I honestly think this is gonna go at least $300 minimum.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
I agree.
300.
Now, do you think that's MSRP or do you think that's going to be retail? That's the difference because MSRP is always higher than retail.
I think that might be MSRP. I could totally be wrong.
Yeah, that's why I put it at 230 because I'm like that seems more like what you'd see. But it is DDR5. It is DDR5, so I mean you are looking at. Plus,
You're
you do have to look at the market right now too. I mean it's going to impact. This will impact, and we're going to talk about the tariffs in a moment here. But it's going to impact stuff like that. So it's going to keep a lot of people out of the market for a while.
Yeah, even when I saw the market, I'm like, yikes. Because I am due for a computer upgrade, big time.
Yeah, so am I.
But
yeah. I'm still not convinced I'm going to go to Windows 11. I may not have a choice though because as much as I want to go to Linux, I cannot force myself to start using Linux. I can't. My brain just will not let me do it, and I want to. Because I hate being part of the lemmings. So, but yeah, for a PC build, this would be a great.
Well, I got disconnected there for a second. Gotta love Discord. Discord randomly booted me out. No idea why. Try to get back here for a second. There we go. I'm back.
Okay, sorry about that. I have no idea what just happened here. I was just like, what happened?
Yeah, Discord booted me out for a second. I don't know why.
Oh, great. Well, that's live now. Sorry, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
don't know why.
the stream didn't die, did it?
No. Stream's still
Okay.
up.
Okay. Sorry about that technical difficulty, folks. We are back. So what I was saying is, your computer will be very happy if you can upgrade RAM. That's fine, but just remember, get your CPU and your other stuff together to make sure that you have a nice, equilibrium, if you will, of power under the hood.
Yeah.
Is 128 overkill? For me, I'm a tech. No. Then again, I will be honest with you. The best RAM to get is with ECC or error correction code.
Yep.
If you can get ECC RAM, which is server grade, that's the way to go because server grade is far superior. Like I've seen people. Well, obviously everybody knows that my favorite obsession is trains, and there's people that are actually running dual Xeon processors, server grade processors, running that game. I'm like, well, first of all, how did you get that game to play? Because most times you can't get games on those kind of processors, but apparently it works. So, well, I was always told you can't use server grade stuff to play games, but apparently you can. So,
If there's
error correction, but it's also more expensive, and a lot of companies do limits on how much RAM you can actually buy in one sitting.
Yeah.
They do limit that. So, what were you gonna say?
Oh, none.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I saw that the other day. Actually, I didn't really read it until today. I was like, okay, but I want to go to this little thing called this little simulation game that Mr. Dazzo played, and apparently he decided to buy. I don't know why, but yeah, it's called FJzo Sim. I call it Amascam Gaming on your PC. Here's a Dazzo review. Amascam, yeah. Amascam. It all fits.
Amascam.
Oh, what do you think of old Balding Beth?
So I only played like maybe just over half an hour yesterday. Off stream because I was going to
say you should stream that just to see.
I was intended on actually streaming it, but I got a fucking headache yesterday after work. So I was like, oh no! So I didn't bother sitting here trying to be in concentration while playing the game. So I was like, okay, you know what? Just at least let me get my feet wet and see what the game's technically about. So, yeah.
It's probably going to be a supermarket simulator.
Technically, in this fucking sense.
Yeah. Oh, but what is their grocery store? Isn't it like a Whole Foods or whatever? It's kind of like going to be like that. It's like under that kind of environment.
Yeah. So
it would have been cool if this had been more like you're working out of a warehouse. That would have been interesting. You're actually working in an Amazon or quote unquote Amascam type of warehouse environment.
But it's
because that would totally make sense.
Yeah, but it's more of like a store-ish.
Yeah, so it's basically just a copycat of all the other store games out there. I mean, like all this, Art Simulator or whatever the hell it's called.
Don't get me wrong. It's decent to some degree from what I was playing as far as I did yesterday. I didn't fully go in depth with unlocking certain levels and whatnot.
Right.
But
you were just testing the waters for the review.
Yep.
So, was it worth your dollars?
Depending on how you want to look into it.
Okay.
We're gonna go
full. Did you regret buying it? Do you regret buying it?
Just because the game? Not really. It's another game. I mean, it's not overly expensive too, so I'll give it a pass.
So you're not going to refund then?
Probably not, depending on how much of the game updates. I'll look into it. I mean,
Well,
for
I know that
$10 for it's $10
for
a game.
$10, yeah, yeah,
It's not bad considering a lot of other games similar can go up to $20, 25, $30
yeah.
on Steam.
Well, if you get Supermarket Together, which I know you do have, that's a free game. The only thing you pay for is just the cool room. That's like $5.
So
So I mean,
yeah, it's not
and that's
bad.
the thing is though, they have to actively update your game. They have to update it, pretty consistently. And if it is early access, or is it a demo, or is it early access?
Early access, according to what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So early access. Yeah, it should be getting it should be getting its updates.
The
At
last
least on a regular basis.
small update was on the 24th of March. So yeah, they
That's not bad.
seem to be dropping updates every other 2 weeks, give or take.
Right.
So
Well, I've been updating Supermarket Simulator every time there's an update, and I keep reading about what they're doing, and they're basically making this game into a Walmart, without a doubt, just of all the shit they're adding to it. No, literally, they just now did a level 3 electronics section now,
oh, I saw that. Yes.
and that's
I
actually
did
pretty
see
dope.
that.
I like that idea. I do like
I did
that.
see that.
But and they're updating like almost every few days is a new update patch, and that's cool because at least they're very active in making this game pretty awesome.
See,
I mean, because Supermarket Simulator is kind of like, that's like the golden gem for everybody, which I'm like, don't really care.
I don't mind devs updating the game, especially if you're fixing issues. That's one thing.
Which is what they do, which is what they are doing as well. They are making
But
minor
to
fixes.
drop actual updates to the actual game core, they should at least do it once a week. Or
Yeah, I agree.
minimum twice a week. Hot fixes and patches.
Well, the game
that is
itself was
understandable.
but the game itself was pretty epic out the door.
Yeah.
The ground, like just when you download the game, it's already pretty good even before these updates came through.
Yep.
Now it's just like now what I think these are is more or less enhancements.
Yeah,
For
it's
the
like more
game.
enhancements.
And fixing a couple bugs, like people will say there's some bugs here and there, like mainly it's like with pathing with AI, but that's always the thing with every game that's got AI in it.
Yep.
Is pathing, and then maybe like some changes to decorations and whatever. I mean, yeah, I get like the little eye candy things to make your store awesome. That's cool and all.
But
So I don't shun that game. No, I don't even shun that game. So when I hear about Beth Bezos' Sim, I'm like, are you going to be like a Supermarket Simulator just disguised as an Amazon game? I mean,
Amascam.
I don't know. Amascam, yeah, and it really has become a scam. And yeah, I have been a Prime member since the first decade of the 2000s. Yes, right now I'm nearing 20. I'm nearly 20 years into my Amazon Prime account.
That's sad.
So I'm one of the assholes who's kept that motherfucker wealthy. Whatever.
Next.
Yeah, no doubt, right? So, beyond that, I mean, if you had to rate this game, we'll start with that one. If you would rate this game based on what you've just played, just 30 minutes playing, out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
3.5. And I'm being generous.
So middle of the road. Middle of the road, okay. No crashing or anything like that.
No crashing. Gameplay wise, yeah, it's kind of boring. Because, yes, it's Amazon. You just pack, ship, put it in the van, ship it to the fucking United States Postal Service, and ship that shit out. Whatever.
The truck doesn't even deliver to the home like it normally would. It goes to the post office.
No.
Wow.
Well,
Not only
at least
that,
from
but see,
what
that's
I know so far.
yeah.
But I
and
did
what I would've-
see I did see 2 vehicles. One's a bigger cargo van, and then there is a drone. which I think
You're talking I think like a sprinter size van, like a sprinter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they're driving now. The sprinters. That's cool. The drones, I mean, honestly, I don't even like. I know they're trying to do that in real life. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I do not want a drone flying over my head. Fuck you. That's the dumbest thing you could ever come up with.
Yep.
You know?
I mean,
I think honestly, what they should have done was work with Amazon and said, look, we want to make a simulator game that's actually based on your fucking warehouses.
No, because then.
And then you actually can have like a really awesome multiplayer experience. You know, work 15 hours. Just and people bitching about how much they're in pain and all that. I mean, just make it as realistic as possible, dude. That would actually sell. That would absolutely sell. That would be awesome.
That'd be horrible.
Nah. I worked for Amazon. It would not be because it would be so real to life. It would be so true to life. And like here's the other. And if you're like an area manager. And like you see a group of people gathered around themselves talking quietly, you have to go break it up because maybe they're trying to form a union.
Oh no!
Oh, that's actually a thing. They will break up anybody who's talking in like a small group. They will break that up. They are terrified of unions. So yeah, believe me, when you work there, you find all kind of things about Amazon. It's funny. I mean, I do feel really guilty sometimes ordering stuff because I know what it's like to work around Christmas.
Oh.
It's hell.
Yeah.
And peak, which is every summer. And actually, now they're actually having a couple peaks a year now. There's like a spring peak and a summer peak. And it's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. So, mandatory 12-hour days, standing on your feet, no rest. I mean, barely a rest break. Because most of these warehouses are so fucking huge, it takes you 20 minutes just to walk to one area, and then your break's over.
Yep.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about here was, yes, I know we're really dragging out the whole ATS thing, American Truck Simulator thing, but I found it funny that Missouri, just yesterday, was filled with mixed reviews. And all of a sudden today, it's got mostly positive reviews. I wonder why that's a thing. I wonder. Now I haven't played it yet. Just because I haven't. I haven't played it yet, even though I was gifted it. I have not played it yet. I've already made sure my mods are up to date, so it actually will work. And yeah, I know, right? Trains, I'll tell you, man. Trains is like crack. It's crack. I mean, honestly, ATS used to be crack. Now it's not. But I was reading some of the comments yesterday and today, and it all comes down to people who actually live in the locations, and they said there's so much shit that was never included. Some of the cities they chose make
like. With a scale of 1.35, I think it is. Or
no, I think it's 1.27. I think is what it is, or 127.
Yeah, so it's like.
It's not about that. It's about these are big cities that were missed. These were like large metropolitans that were missed.
So. They've been doing the exact same thing since the original states. Why are people getting all fucking pissed off?
Well, let me read you some of the comments here, and I'll explain why they're pissed off, because I honestly kind of get it. I kind of get it, and I understand that some people are irritated by it, and am I sympathy a little bit, because I just know from experience, that SCS does random shit, and they, only do random shit. See here, let me go to the DLC release.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
People should know how much SES puts into their effort per state.
One of the things that they said they are pissed off about is there's no Anheuser-Busch. That's a big fucking company in the middle of the goddamn city. Anheuser-Busch, the makers of Budweiser, yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
You can only do so much.
They should, but that's an iconic. That's been around forever. That's been around, I think, since the 1800s. How the fuck do you not include that?
Okay.
And if they did include it, there's no deliveries to it, or there's no pickups from it. Dude, beer. You're fucking European. You're fucking European. You make this fucking. You are all beer. How the fuck do you negate that? How much beer do you deliver in fucking SCS? Or in ETS2? How many beer loads can you take? A lot. Guaranteed.
Oh my god. I knew that was coming.
Yeah. So here it is. U.S. Beverages is what they literally call the building. Are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't get the license for Anheuser-Busch, really? And that's a European company that owns that damn business now. What the fuck?
Money-wise, duh.
Dude, this company is not poor. They're not broke. They're not hurting for money. People are honestly, I think people are pissed. There's just a lot of things. See, now it's overwhelmingly positive. With now, so this, I just checked this about an hour and a half ago. It was only some 300 posts. Now there's over 1,000. How much you want? How much do you want to fucking bet? Oh wait, that's just American. Okay, hold on. I'm wrong. That is wrong. That's not the DLC. That's just the core game. Okay, my apologies. That's that.
Bruh.
Yeah. Shut up. You hush your mouth. I gotta see this. Hold on. I gotta find it. Motherfucker. They got 53 DLCs right now.
I just love the entire people. Yeah. I have
Okay, yeah.
stuff.
135 comments. Okay.
I have it up.
So, okay, so check this out. So this is what this person said. I have to begrudgingly say this. I didn't quite do it for me. Huh?
I'm reading that thing already.
Oh, you are reading that one? Yeah. So for those who are not listening or not watching, but basically here's what it is. I begrudgingly say this because I didn't quite do it for me. I played ETS2 for years, added a few map packs and whatever, enjoyed it, but I'm not sure the same level of detail is here. I was completely shocked that not a single scrap of St. Charles County, pretty huge suburb, just west of St. Louis, is represented by anything at all apart from an oddly realistic Ameristar 94 and 40 and 64 are completely missing. Those are interstates. As well as I-70, 270, and 370. That's huge chunks of roads. I get the 20-to-1 compression, but for a county that is 50 miles wide and has almost double the population of St. Louis City, you'd think there'd at least be, I don't know, a few businesses around the exits. Some of the trailers and teasers seem to imply that you'd be able to drive in the detailed cities like St. Louis or Kansas City, but they're effectively just things to look as you go by. I have to say that the biggest shocks to me for St. Louis area was the complete lack of airport. That's where Boeing, and Darwin in the game. I don't know why you word like this, but whatever. So yeah, they're not including the airport. That's a big fucking problem. So it's just possible this may get expanded in the future, but it's just weird that it's some oddly placed. I mean, that was the same thing I said about Texas. I mean, there's a whole chunk of the freaking middle of the state that's not even there, or around 35 and 35E. There's no freaking there's no 820. So the other one is like from yesterday, or no, from 5 days ago. They live in Missouri, and they said that there's just it's always shit missing. Now I understand what you were saying, Dazz, about like, well, this is how they always do it, but there are some critical things that just, Okay, it's shit like this is the thing I don't like is when comments like this. I was playing American Truck Sim in VR and I farted in Missouri, and it stinks 10 out of 10. What the fuck? What the fuck?
What a troll.
Yeah. I don't know.
Uh,
It's like, but you can see that there are a lot of simps for this game. A lot of simps are just going, look at us whining about it. No. There's legitimate reasons why there are certain cities that should be represented that are not. I get it. We can't have every single city in a map this small. You can't. It's on a one-to-one scale. I get it. But if it's just a drive-by, if it's literally just driving by, oh, look, hi, wave to St. Louis, yay, bye-bye. You know, I'll be honest, the person to know who would really be the one to talk to, Fabiano. Where he was born and raised in Missouri. So, I wonder what his opinion is on this. You know? Would be interesting. Do I think it's a cool state? Sure. I just don't understand the half-assing of how they're fucking doing it. Like, again, I don't like how they just dart throw out the freaking map. You know? There's the rest of the upper Midwest probably will never be done for another 10 years. That's what my bet is right now. 10 years, we will get Minnesota, Wisconsin, North and South Dakota. In 10 years. That is my prediction. Because what they're going to do is they're going to go no. Because what they're going to do is they're going to follow after Louisiana. They're going to follow on the to Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, all that. They're Atlanta. They're going to get those areas before the upper Midwest gets finished. That's just what it's going to be. And then maybe even up the Eastern Seaboard. It will do that. Because reasons I don't understand. So, I don't know. I lost so much faith in SCS making a good map for the US. Now, I don't know if it was this bad with ETS2. I have no clue because I didn't really follow that game at all up until I got it a few years ago. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts? And let me guess. You're going to say, well, it's not that bad, you know?
I have the DLC. I fucking played it on the stream a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. You can have every city, every county, every...
Oh. I know that, but when you're talking about big areas that are being completely ignored, and...
Dude, we had the same fucking talk every single time a DLC dropped. It's the same unusual. SCS will do whatever they like. Hey, if you're a map developer and you want to go into a certain state or certain cities and counties, feel free to add them up.
But like I said too, there are people who have legitimately been playing this thing since they launched, and they do. I mean, these are the people that I take more credibility out of than people that only play for a few hours. I'm talking about those that have played for years. They're like, yeah, this seems to be really just half-assing it. Like, they kind of say, like, there's no real effort being put into the game anymore. Like, it's just, okay, we bit off more than we can chew. We get it, America's big. Okay, we fucked up. I think that would be more of the thing if they actually managed. Because, look, they are European. Europe is very, 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 very condensed in so many locations. That's why you can build the way you can. When you get to America and you see how vast it is, you realize, holy shit, this is a big motherfucking piece of land. So, yeah, I do see why. You know, people want... And look, people want their cities. I get that. They want their birth city or whatever. They want to see familiarity. I get that you're not going to be able to have it all the time. I just feel like sometimes they just put this stuff together just to release them at this point. I black pilled on it? No, I don't know, man. I'm just at the point now where SCS, I can take it or leave it now.
Interesting take.
Well, I'm not upset about it. I was more like, I can't wait for the next DLC, you know. Really when Texas, because that was highly anticipated, was Texas. And then when I went through that map, I was like, There's like a big void in the middle of fucking Dallas and Fort Worth. Are you kidding me? I'm like, these are massive cities. These are like tens of thousands of people live in these, and how many businesses are in these areas? You've just completely left them blank. You know? And they'll focus more on the shit in California. And that's what and this is what really pisses me off. They focus more on California. What the fuck is so big about California that, that's got to be the one that we have to modify? We got to change all that.
You know what I think? You know what I actually
What do
think?
you think? What do you think?
They waste way more time doing all these fucking blog posts.
You're not wrong, dude. You are not wrong. Yeah, we talked about that offline. It's like, you know what? Give us 3 blog posts and then fucking release the game. I don't need to see your work in progress. I don't. I don't give a shit about those photographs. I don't care. I want to see results. That's what I demand as a paying customer. And if you don't like it as CS, well, tough shit.
And then
Anyway.
we just dropped another technical blog post with
I know, for,
Forvia
what,
Hella.
Louisiana?
No. They are designing new headlamps for various trucks and vehicles.
Who
we're
the
gonna-
fuck asked for that?
No. Forvia
Who the
Hella.
fuck is asking for this shit?
I don't
Honestly,
know.
what the what a waste of time that is.
Well, apparently that
This,
is.
and again, you wonder why I get so sick of SCS. This is the kind of bullshit thing that they're doing, you know, instead of building maps, instead of building the states.
So, Forvia Hella is a global automotive supplier out of Germany.
Okay, big fucking deal. What does that got to do with ATS?
They
This is for
are.
ETS. This is for ETS
No,
too,
they're
isn't it?
both. They're both.
I've never heard of this fucking company. Seriously, I have not. I don't know. I don't even know where they're located in the States, but
They are based in Germany.
no, but they've got to have an office out here though.
Let me double
Base.
check. I don't think they have a HQ in here. Actually, no, there is. There is a corporate office in the USA in Northville, Michigan.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. But like I said, I mean, do you see what they're pissing their time away on? It's stupid shit like this that nobody's asking for. Nobody probably wants.
But they are
And-
making. So, what I think they're doing is updating all the headlights on all the trucks, including the new ones that are in development.
I don't. We've got mods that do the changes. We've had mods for years that fix headlights.
Well, fixing headlights
It's only,
is one
and
thing.
it's only now after nearly 10 years of shit headlights in stock form that they've now decided to redo it. No.
Hmm?
What a waste of time and resources.
That's just one of
It's
their
like the same thing. It's like, oh,
development
Cruise,
systems.
Missouri. Who gives a shit? Like, I don't care. No.
Hmm?
I don't know. I don't know why this makes me so angry. I really do not know why SCS makes me. I think it's because I'm actually watching money. I'm just watching money get thrown away. I hate waste. Hate it. So.
Next.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh, here's a.
I don't know if
here's
you want to
a-
go to the news report, or if we want to go to news, or if we wanna
Let's go
to
do a
tech. I don't
news.
know.
Let's take a break from the gaming
All right, so-
topics.
You gave me something regarding a train derailment, and apparently the police warned that this was going to be a problem. And then the
Yes.
train derails. I didn't watch the video or anything like that, but I'm assuming that it was basically like, hey, guess what, railroad? You got a bad track, and you might not want to drive any trains out here until you fix it. Well, choo choo choo, boom. Pretty much, right?
Pretty close. So if I remember correctly, It was earlier during the day that after a heavy haul load that went through the tracks, it basically damaged it
At the grade crossing.
at the grade crossing. And
Yeah, and that track has actually got a usually a topper that goes over the tracks.
yep.
It doesn't really raises the road a little bit, but it's just designed for cars to go over the tracks easier without like destroying your undercarriage. But so it sounds like that whole apron was completely destroyed and probably squished the
part
track.
of the part of the rail was damaged.
And that's interesting because there's usually a weight restriction on that area. I mean, you
Yep.
can't help it. Like, you got a heavy haul, you can't help going over tracks. Like,
No.
this is going to be a thing.
So
But they ignored.
they
That's my problem.
they the police did call and notify the railroad tracks,
Yep.
but they
Railroad.
never told the fucking train guy to stop it. And this was
So they
like
could've
maybe
diverted- they could've diverted
4
the
hours.
train.
4
So,
hours.
yeah, they could have. Yeah, they could have easily. There's got to be a siding somewhere. They could have pulled off and just waited until a repair crew came there. You know, it's so funny. It is just so funny how. Oh, geez, we have all these plane accidents and near misses and all. Now we gotta go back to train derailments. Sabotage much? You kind of have to wonder if these companies are just this fucking incompetent.
I say
By the way, what rail line was this?
CSX.
That's in the south. That's the southern and
Yes.
that's in the south. Yeah, BNSF is Midwest and middle of the
Tyrone
country.
Police Department is, oh god, I can't remember.
Yeah. No, that's,
Georgia.
They're in the
Georgia.
southern part of the country. Yeah. Georgia, Florida,
I think.
Alabama, Mississippi, those areas. Yeah, that's where CSX pretty much is. There are some
Tyrone.
CSXs
Actually,
that
no,
will
it's
come out of Georgia.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, 'cause I think it does start. I think it starts up there. But it doesn't matter. I mean, still.
Yeah.
I mean, this
So they
like,
notified
honestly,
CSX. They notified the rail,
Yeah.
but the rail
And
never.
by law,
got-
you're supposed to. They guaranteed they called that blue sign on every signal that's out there. Called the 800 number and said, "Yeah, you've got a problem. Fix it."
This
Your
is-
trains.
Yeah.
That's what you're always supposed to do. But if you fuckers aren't going to come out there, why are you not getting your asses sued into oblivion?
Yeah. This is all CSX issue. This is from the
It doesn't matter.
communications
It
department
doesn't
to the train
matter who it is.
to the train driver.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is because all railroads have a requirement by federal law that says if your car breaks down on a track, you don't fucking call 911 first. You call the train company first to let them know, hey, my car's on the tracks. Stop your fucking train. But if they're not even going to go after and fix their own damaged track, what the fuck?
Hmm.
Dude, our fucking country, man, I swear to God, this is incompetency.
Yep.
What do you even do with this? I mean, let me ask you this: how much chemical got spilled? How much
I don't know.
toxicity got into the environment? You know?
That I don't know.
And then think about that. They just now put their entire driver and the crew at fucking risk.
No injuries were reported. No
No,
damage.
but the fact that it could have.
Yeah, that could have.
Derailing like a 110-ton or whatever the fucking size is, fucking vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
NTSB will do nothing about it too. NTSB will do nothing about it because they're just as fucking. And what else is there? It's the OSHA will do nothing about it, which is the Occupational Safety and Health, and they will do nothing about it. Like the people that are supposed to do their fucking job are not capable or are too damn incompetent to do their fucking job. The rail company, CSX, should be held liable for that derailment. Yes, I understand damage from that trucking company should fall on their shoulders, but it's not their track.
No, this is all
So I don't know.
CSX.
No. I'm saying the damage caused
Oh,
by,
yeah.
by that heavy haul. You know, CSX theoretically could go after them, but I don't think they would win because what are you supposed to do? You know, the car, those vehicles are already torn apart anyway as it is and separated on trailers.
But the fact that
heavy haul,
it took them not even 4 hours. Within those 4 hours, you can't even fucking call your train guy, train conductor.
No.
Hey,
No,
there's a
that's-
fucking derail. That's
How much you wanna
like
bet that
going
was?
to happen.
I wonder, and this is because what I'm going to lead into in a little bit here is exactly what I think is causing it. I know these are all private companies with the train companies; they're all private.
Don't matter.
Doesn't matter, no, because not only does a derailment put the driver and crew at risk, the public too.
Exactly.
Public is at risk. Public is at risk. We've already had how many derailments do we have in Ohio that caused chemical spills? Nobody said anything about it from the environmentalists, so fuck you. But also, nobody did anything about it. They just buried it. They buried their head in the sand, and once again, we're back to that burying our heads in the sand. Now, here's a question.
Shoot.
What if that, I play devil's advocate here, what if that, what if a message was sent and it was ignored by the driver?
Then it would be the driver's fault.
That's negligence.
That would be driver's fault. Period.
Yeah. Unless, of course, CSX would cover for their asses if they're like a... One never knows. In this day and age, one never knows.
Everyone's corrupted. Suddenly.
I mean, okay. Our train tracks have years and years and years. Every so often, you will see a train crew out there replacing rail and replacing ties.
Yep.
They will repair anything at the crossings
Mhm.
because by federal law, they're supposed to.
Yes.
If lighting does not work, if the signals do not work, and by law, and this is based on what BNSF does, a person working for the rail company will go out with red flags and stop traffic.
Yep.
If the gates don't work or if the lights don't work, they will make sure somebody's out there while they're repairing it.
Yep.
Sometimes, if they're quick enough, they can get the train to a siding, so it can pause for a little bit while shit's repaired. And these people do have a little bit of time to actually repair their shit, and then send the train back on. Yes, it sucks to stop a mile-long train. I get it. It takes a lot of effort. Not a lot of Newton laws apply to stopping a train, and then to start it up again. But we are now getting to the point now where I'm starting to believe that we are getting into sabotage levels of bullshit. Not people being mischievous. I'm talking about companies. Negligence, arrogance, stupidity, whatever you want to call it. It really feels like this is becoming intentional. Like they just don't care or they just want to continuously do it. Folks, when you're by a train crossing, look right on top of the signals or somewhere around the signals. You will see a bright blue sign. That blue sign is an info sign for you to call. And police called that number, and if it was ignored and not passed on to the driver, that is negligent because it caused an accident. It could be malicious intent. It could, and if somebody had gotten killed, now you're looking at manslaughter. Vehicular manslaughter with a fucking giant ass train. That's, that's where we're at. We've already got an assassination fucking type of country right now. I mean, they probably get off on shit like this. They probably love it when things like this happen. It feeds their need to kill. But my God, this is getting old. Which I have to bring this up because this leads me into this segues me into the why are there so many damn plane crashes. So I was reading this earlier today, and a lot of this. Now, first of all, the biggest issues are from COVID, when people were fired for not taking the jab. That was literally one thing. The smartest people in the room were fired because they refused to, kill themselves with the jab. So those people were fired and never brought back. You have DEI hires who have no fucking experience, no education whatsoever, and we had to hire them because of their skin color. Yeah, we don't care if they don't know what they're doing. We just had to do this because we had to check a box off. Okay? And it's the same thing with the towers.
Yep.
The FAA is responsible for making sure our skies are safe. People are terrified now of flying because of this level of incompetence. We've had wheels and doors falling off planes. Explain that. This is supposed to be the safest form of travel. Are you sure about that? Would you bet your life on that? Because I sure as hell won't. I already didn't fly as it is. I guarantee I ain't gonna fucking fly again. I will never fly. I will never even step foot in an airplane because God forbid I'll lose a leg trying to crawl into the fucking fuselage.
There it is.
It's just.
There it is.
It's like these folks. These are the fucking adults in the room. These are the adults in the room. These are the people that are supposed to be smart. These are the people that are supposed to fucking make shit work, make shit run efficiently, make shit not fall apart.
What is smart?
This is, right, not anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's just fucking. Now they're just smart. You can't even spell smart. They're just smart. They're dumber than an ass. Okay, and it's like, and I get so worked up because I'm like, how can you let incompetency like this run rampant all over your fucking modes of transportation? You fired the good people. You said, everybody can just work from home. Made everybody fucking lazy like the goddamn French. And they don't want to come back and work in the fucking office because I have my comfort life. I gotta watch my man sports. I gotta watch my football, my baseball. I gotta make sure that my life is taken care of. I don't give a shit about nobody else, Sean bitch. I mean, that is the fucking adults in the fucking room. These are the demented adults in the room that are running everything into the ground.
Yep. What about the cars?
I've always said. Well, that's what I'm going to get to next. You can never fix stupid. All you can do is watch it grow and spread.
Yep.
That's all stupid will ever do. Now, tariffs are an interesting topic of discussion today because so many people are so unhinged over tariffs. Most of these protesters have no fucking idea how this shit works.
Here we go.
No. And I'm not an expert, but I do research.
Okay.
And
go for it.
In the short term, yes, tariffs will increase prices. Yes, our president right now is intentionally trying to fuck the stock market up because it needs a course correction because I gotta say this, folks. How many of these other countries have been fucking us in the asshole for decades? Ripping us off. Not just in goods and services, but in quality. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what they've been doing. China is notorious for this and had been doing it for years. And in fact, it's so funny when you hear old Chucky Schumer and old Nancy Pelosi, who can't talk because she got too much vodka, they will talk and say, this is bad, this is bad. These are the same people. Chuck Schumer in 2008 said China is a fucking disaster, screwing our country. Pelosi in 1996 said the same fucking thing. What has changed? Because they are getting ass raped fucking getting money from China to shut their mouths and to just keep everything on the status quo. Then you have countries like China saying, we're being bullied. Oh my God, we're hurting. You've been fucking us for decades, you assholes. In fact, I remember my history class when I was in high school. My teacher said the one language he wanted to learn, Chinese. He wanted to learn Chinese. Why? Because he saw the rise of China. He saw that China was going to be the country that was going to dominate. Was he wrong? No. 35 years later, we're getting ass reamed. Bad policies have causes. Folks, you elected these motherfuckers who have allowed our country to fall by the shit side, and now you're crying that things are going to go up in price? Guess what? You should have fucking paid attention. You should have knew what time it was. You should have realized, hey, guess what? Politicians don't give a fuck about you. You are useful idiots, and you're fucking falling for it. Get your shit together right now. Stop crying and realize that, guess what? We have to unfuck ourselves in this country. We have got to unfuck ourselves. And if you don't care, then move to fucking China. Move to another communist country if you don't fucking like America. You know, we don't fucking need you here. We don't need your bullshit here. If you want to fucking sit and cry because Trump is working with Elon Musk, we're going to go burn our cars down. You're a fucking dumbass. And then you have Canada's pro tem prime minister saying, it's over. Everything is over. We tried to do everything is over. What's over? You've been terrorizing us for fucking ever, too. The United States, since World War II, has been fucked in the ass by every goddamn European country for decades, begging us to be everything to everybody. Being part of this global economy. Well, guess what, fuckers? We're done. We need to take care of our shit first. Remember that old saying about, how can you remove the speck from your brother's eye when there's a giant-ass log coming out of your eye? Clean your own back steps first before you start bitching about things. You know? But yeah, and even the one magazine I fucking subscribed to a long time ago, PC World, that I get a lot of my tech stuff from, even they're whining about the cost of computer prices are going to go up because the tariffs are so bad. Oh my God. No, what this did was so far as I wrote this, 50 countries have all agreed to drop their fucking tariffs against us. 0 for 0. No tariffs on them, no tariffs for us. That is why fucking Trump did this. To get people to the table. Why do you think his book called The Art of the Deal was a bestseller? He's been talking about this for over 40 years. Since he was in his 20s, he saw this shit happening. And this was back in the 80s. This is nothing new. He's been talking about it. He's a businessman. He's seen the shit. Warren Buffett, one of our wealthiest philanthropists, has said, yeah, what Trump is doing is actually a pretty fucking good idea. It's going to sting, folks, but guess what? When does the Band-Aid get ripped off? When does that never sting? People voted for these assholes in power for decades. This is on you, voters. You did this to yourselves. You motherfucker, you made me rant. I blame you for that. I know you're waiting for this, too. I know you're waiting.
Yeah, blame the Canadian.
No, you fucking go and inject some maple syrup. Go intravenous that shit. No, but I think that's what people do not understand, is it's not Trump doing something. This shit should never happen in the first place. And this is the only way that we can actually fix shit to get out of this global bullshit. Now, if it does fail, Trump's done. If this absolutely fails, Trump is done. But guess who's really crying the most? Politicians and Wall Street are the biggest crybabies. Why? Because it does not affect anybody but them. See, the problem is these people sit behind a desk all day making millions and millions of dollars, while the rest of us plebes out there get raped in the ass. That's exactly what happens. We're the ones that have been fucked for decades. They're not the ones who got fucked. They're just crying about it because they don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose their backdoor deals from China. They don't want to lose their backdoor deals from all these other countries that have fucked us for years. But again, we're at the negotiating table, which is exactly what you want to see. So there's going to be some deals cut with these countries, aren't there? Yeah, there's going to be. So get a grip. Anyway, moving on to the next topic here. Is Microsoft, or micro dollar sign as I like to call them, sabotaging Windows 11 holdouts? This is an article I saw yesterday on PC World, where apparently now in this next update, Microsoft is permanently removing the clock from the flat menu. I think the flat menu is like the one that's off to the right side. I think that's been a thing since like Windows Vista. I never use it, but yeah, they're removing it. And little by little, well, no, this may not sound like a big deal, but think about this. Every little thing they're doing to destroy the product of Windows 10, to force people onto a product that really nobody ever asked for, except for fucking, executives or shareholders. Everybody was already forced into Windows 10, 10 years ago when they said, "Oh yeah, you're going to take this update if you don't really monitor your computer, get Windows 10." Remember that, folks? Yeah, you were forced into that update. Remember how many businesses got fucked because of that update? Yeah. So they're trying to make, I believe they're trying to make Windows 10 an unlivable environment. They're trying to slowly tear away things that people like. Meanwhile, Windows 11 has more fucking problems. I would say almost comparable to Windows 98 days, when there's compatibility issues, driver crashes, blue screens of death, now black screens of death. And one of the things I read from that, and I'm telling you why this kind of correlates, because with them doing this shit to Windows 10, forcing people to Windows 11 because it ends this year, all this shit you're seeing with Windows 11 is not a good selling point for them right now.
Nope.
So there's a company that pretty much works in the enterprise world, from what I was reading, called Sense Shield Systems. They have this product for security called SysProtect. Or S-Protect, I don't really know how you call it. But anyway, it's basically a service that runs in the background, and it's incompatible right now. It's software that actually runs, it doesn't even work right, because Windows 11 is fucked up. And people that have it have experienced blue screens of death or black screens of death. And now, because of this, when Microsoft, micro $, has decided to block this update. So going back to the last one, they're going to remove shit from Windows 10 to make Windows 10 seem unappealing. Meanwhile, Windows 11 is fucking up left and right. People have been bitching about Windows 11's derpiness forever since it was launched. Again, this is what happens when you are a simp for Microsoft. You believe in this bullshit. Remember this too, folks. Windows is never, ever a finished product, no matter how long it's been around. They don't believe in finishing the product. They just move along after 10 years. I am no fan of Microsoft, and I haven't been in the tech world. When you work around Microsoft shit, you find out really quick how much you fucking hate the operating system. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of options out there. If you want to go Mac, you can, but then you're in the Apple ecosystem. And, because Linux assholes out there who love their Linux simping will basically keep any newbie out of there because they don't like newbies. They just want to be their own little clique, So it's funny that they're removing a clock from 10 and only blocking this. By the way, that clock removal is only manual right now, but when Windows update comes out, the next patch update, it's going to be permanent.
Oh, cool.
So you can either voluntarily shoot yourself in the head, or we can do it for you. Your choice.
Oh, that's cool.
Dealer's choice. Yeah, exactly. Now, look, I know you're already on Windows 11 in some cases, but
Yeah.
it's just...
Yeah, zero fucks. Zero fucks given.
Well, I understand that, but do you not see the bullshit with this?
Oh,
whole thing?
I see it.
Yeah. It's like they've already like with like what they break last time was in Windows 11 they broke Copilot was removed and then put back in because some update fucked it up.
Yeah,
And,
no.
here's the thing too: they're getting rid of Skype in favor of Teams. And by the way, did you see this article? They're going to punish Teams users who do not update to the latest version.
Yep. I
All
saw
in the
that.
name of security. All in the name of security. All in the name of security.
I saw that.
This is what
Yeah, yeah,
Microsoft. This is what Microsoft does, folks. They will give you the gun, either use it on yourself or they will do it for you. Dealer's choice. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's all the tech news I've got and all the bullshit other news I've got as well. What do you got on the table?
You know what
I
I
didn't think
got
we were
on
going
the
to go through
table?
I did not know we were going to go through this shit that fast.
So down in Dominican Republic, 60 people died from a nightclub roof collapsing, including ex-MLB players Octavio Dotel and Tony Blanco died at the nightclub.
I think I've heard of Tony Blanco. I've never heard of the other guy.
66 people were officially killed, and the number can still technically climb up, including, let me see here. Nelsie Cruz is also the sister of 7-time All-Star Nelson Cruz. So Nelson Cruz, the All-Star in Major League Baseball, his sister died.
I have to wonder if this was an earthquake.
I don't know from what I can tell, but this happened around 1 a.m. during a merengue concert, which includes athletes, politicians, and other jet-set nightclub in Santo Domingo, basically the capital of Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I also know the Dominican Republic loves to fucking spam phone calls with fake ID.
And
fake number.
144 people were injured. 66 people died.
Well, it's amazing they can build this fantastic nightclub, but they can't fucking run the country worth of shit.
Mm.
That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It sucks for for those families for sure. I mean, I'm not just.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's the world we're living in right now. This is our world.
Yeah.
And you know what? This really sad thing is, more shit like this is going to keep happening because people don't want to wake up. People won't wake up and see the signs of the time. I don't know what this represents. If it was not an earthquake, if it was a bad building foundation, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But I saw the photograph and I'm like, a building does not collapse like that without something catastrophically failing. You know? And I'm sure there's going to be all kind of news reports out there like, well, we think it was this, and the thing is, they probably will never get to the bottom of it.
Not for a few days,
for the
not for a few weeks.
No,
minimum.
I'm thinking a few years. Just because of the country that it's in.
Yeah.
They, I mean, you're gonna be pulling body parts out of that for a while. Your fucking teeth. Yeah.
So Dotel was pulled from the rubble about 6 hours after the collapse and was transported to the hospital. His condition worsened and he actually died at the hospital.
Yeah. He was probably just barely clinging on.
Yep. He was 51.
Young.
Yep. Tony Blanco's 43.
Literally 2 years older than I am.
Tony Blanco is 43, who also died. Yeah. Sad story, unfortunately.
It is. It is sad. It's but
I'm really curious to know what exactly happened. I'm gonna see if I could dig some more.
yeah,
Because I just found that story just before we went live on air. So I'm really curious to know what if anyone has any updates regarding this.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I did forget there's another story I wanted to mention. It's a brief one, but apparently this guy, in his infinite wisdom, decided to use AI to represent him in a court of law, and the judge was not happy about that. The judge was pissed that the plaintiff actually did this, and I have to wonder, could that be concluded as court?
Mm.
I have to wonder that. I mean, because that's the scary thing about AI right now is like, oh yeah, we're gonna have AI judges. You can guarantee you there's gonna be AI judges and AI lawyers. But yeah, this person literally made an AI lawyer representation, showed it on video in front of the judge, and the judge said, basically said, are you fucking kidding me? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Plaintiff can get a personal free. It's your right in this country. You have the right to legal representation. You have the right to a actually no, I'm sorry, that's a even so.
Mm.
It is funny that somebody would stoop to that level. It's like you're gonna bring an AI my courtroom. I would have held that person in contempt of court and thrown him in the jail.
Yeah.
And judges can do that. They can legally do that. If you piss a judge off and you hold in contempt, you go to jail.
Yep.
I think you have to basically. I think you have to apologize to the judge, and a couple other things too you got to do. But yeah, that's I thought that was interesting.
So far, I can't find anything updated.
There's no updates
regarding what and why it happened, or how that technical roof collapsed.
This is a wild one. What if it was terroristic? That would collapse a building. Hello, we've already seen that with several buildings in our country.
Yeah, possible.
I mean, that's the day and age we live in. We live in a world like that. So,
This was a technical concert as well.
Yeah, that happened kind of started recently.
Political athletes, everyone being there. So
yeah, so why wouldn't that be grounds for a terroristic act?
Possibility.
Think about this. What happened a few years ago 2 years ago?
Really curious.
At a concert, where people were literally brutalized, killed by terrorists.
So okay, so what I just read was this same nightclub, there was a fire that damaged part of the nightclub back in 2023. According to ABC News.
Yeah, that's a reliable source.
I'm just...
I know.
I haven't found anything else.
Structural fires can weaken steel.
Yep.
If it's left to burn for a long period of time.
Yep.
If it's quenched quickly, damage is usually pretty minimal, other than the water damage that's caused by hoses. But that's
we'll have to find out sometime next week to see if there's any updates regarding this.
Well, no, actually, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think My mind immediately goes to terrorist attack just because
Yeah,
there's
because
people that
that's a
with political
very
nature there.
possibility.
Yeah, because it's a political nature. But how much you want to bet that'll get fucking buried?
You never know.
Most of our news outlets in this country, aside from the independent journalists, they will do everything to bury shit like this.
Yeah,
They will do everything to bury it.
Of course.
That's why people don't need to listen to that shit, because they just bury it. And eventually they'll come on and say, "Yeah, we were wrong."
Yeah.
You know. But,
Unfortunately.
that does kind of suck. So, got anything else?
Not really. Let me just double check and make sure. And leave anything.
Yeah, I didn't really see much other news out there for the world to enjoy.
Yeah. I think that was technically what we all covered today. But it is what it is.
So here you go, check this out. This is a headline. Razer laptops vanish from Razer's site as tariffs skyrocket. Subheadline. As President Trump threatens a 104% tariff on China imports, Razer's gaming laptops have disappeared. Panic much? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, besides, the PC World is based out of California, so there's your problem right there. They're very liberal. Very fucking liberal. So,
Don't read into it.
exactly. Exactly. It's just.
Oh man.
My feelings about terrorists. That's. I mean, the whole thing is these people. I mean, look at the politicians that are screaming doom and gloom. That's all it is. Just literally doom and gloom people. It's like that's what gets them out. Like I swear to God, it's a fucking sexual fetish for them to literally get off on people's hysteria.
Yeah, that's why I don't even bother listening to the news anymore. It's like half the time.
No, I don't. I do it just to kind of keep up, so I'm not, like ignorant.
I get it.
But
We both have a fucking job to do.
Yeah. But then again, we do run a podcast, so we do have
Exactly.
to kind of get stuff out there for people.
Yeah.
This is, after all, 1K frequency. We're the best freaking thing in the world. By the way, you know what I forgot to mention?
What'd you bring
I forgot to mention 1K frequency merch. Get yours now. You have to get it. You must get this stuff. You know why? Because you need it in your life. It is important for you to have 1K frequency merch. Not because it helps us out. No. It's because you'll look cool. And if you look cool, then your friends are going to look at you and say, "That's cool." Like our awesome snapback hat with the 1K frequency logo on it. I mean, come on. Think about how stylish that is.
40% off. Selected merch. Link is in the
You
description.
can't go wrong. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a 40% discount. You just can't. I mean, you can't even get that from frickin' McDonald's.
Nah.
Instead of buying a Big Mac, buy yourself some 1K frequency stuff. Can't eat it. I mean, I guess you could, but why would you want to? You should wear it, though. You should wear it.
Get it.
So, I guess one that I've got is like a couple of little dumbasses who have made threats against our politicians who are now sitting in jail for being stupid.
Not surprised.
Yeah, one guy's like, "I dare the FBI to come and take me." Okay. Why? Jail. Making threats against President Trump and several other high elected politicians, now sits in prison. And yeah, do stupid shit, get a stupid prize. Good for you. So,
Fuck around and find out.
not wrong. Yep.
Oh god.
Yeah, there was a guy who was on TikTok recently who said that he wants to commit violence against Trump and things like that, and telling everybody to go do it. Dude, you just did that on camera. Your
Yeah,
face is
yeah,
now
yeah.
going to be in a database to hunt you down. Good job. People don't understand. Shit you say takes your freedom away if you're not careful. By careful, I don't mean being fucking dumb and saying stupid shit out loud. Posting shit to social media because your entire life revolves around social media. So, yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
speaking of media, I know not everybody's into the whole hockey world. Give or take.
The hockey world?
The hockey world.
I used to be like when we got our hockey team back in 2000. For a while, I was like, okay, that's cool because we hadn't had the because North Stars betrayed us and went to Texas. But anyway, I haven't followed hockey in a long time, so.
I have.
But I still enjoy it. Man, I do have, I have a quick hockey story, but you know, that's cool.
So. The world's greatest goal scorer, Wayne Gretzky. His record has finally been broken.
Really?
Alex Ovechkin of the
I read about
Washington
that.
Capitals.
Fucking read about. I knew it. I read about Ovechkin. Fuck.
He scored
Wow.
2 goals to tie it a couple days ago.
What was Gretzky's record? For goals?
894. He tied it. The next game, Ovechkin broke it. He's going to go for at least 930 goals. If not, if he's going to continue playing for like the next 2 years, I guarantee you 1,000 is not out of reach.
Yeah, but
He's
his
almost
team is
40.
really 40. Yeah, he's in
39 currently.
Yeah. So
He could
may have
literally smash at 1K within the
If he's in
next
good
3
health.
years, give or take.
if he's in good health. He's got to
Yeah.
be in good health to do that.
He's
Here's
not
the
that
thing,
far
though.
out.
Here's the thing, though. How old was Gretzky before
I
he
think
retired?
39. 39 was
So
when he
here's the thing.
retired.
So here's the thing, though. So my argument would be Gretzky did it when he was 39 years old, basically 38, 39.
Yeah.
Okay, before he retired. This guy is almost 40.
Yep, and he just broke the record.
So he's basically the same age that Gretzky was back in, what was Gretzky's? He was 80s, right? 80s and early 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, if he
That's
stays
what-
healthy, I could see. Now I don't know if I could see 1,000, but I could see at least a good strong 940 because Ovechkin is a damn good. Like Ovechkin is a damn good player. Like he's a fucking.
Yeah, he's a good sniper.
He's a beast. Oh God, yes. Dude, he's
Especially
got-
on the
he's got-
power play.
Dude, he's
Oh
got
my
trick
God.
shots for. He's got trick shots for days. This guy is like, he's an arsenal of like. What the fuck did I just see on camera? Like you literally have replay for that very reason.
Yeah, and he's
You know?
dangerous on the fucking power play, let alone
Oh,
the 5 on
dude.
5.
Dude, yeah, like he's like Goofy sitting in the goal, just like oh my god, There's all Ovechkin's like just one after another hockey puck and him right in the face, boom, 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 boom. That's, yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember who else has come close to Gretzky's record. It may not even be by a long shot. It may be like way off, but I don't think Mario Lemieux was ever that close. Or Brett Hull was. I forget if he was defense or not. He was a Red Wing. Who was the leader of the Detroit Red Wings back in the night? He was like the big, like he was the center. He was the center for the Red Wings.
Oh God.
Late 90s.
Ooh.
I forget his name. He was damn good though. Like the Detroit
That's
Red
you?
Wings in the 90s were
Papa, that's you?
No,
That might have been before
It was
that.
American. It was American.
Oh God, I can't remember.
I think.
Too many people.
But no, Detroit was like Detroit were a powerhouse in the 90s. Like nobody could fucking touch them.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ovechkin. I want to say he was a Red Wing at one time in his
No,
career. I could be wrong.
Ovechkin has always been a
Okay.
capital. Washington Capitals.
I know that for years he was talked a lot about. He was like everybody liked to talk about Ovechkin.
He's
And,
good. He's good.
dude. He is. Yeah, he's pretty average.
He's gonna break over 900 by the
I think
end of the
he'll
season.
break nines. I
Because
think he'll break.
we
I don't think he'll break 1,000 before he retires. I think he'll get high nines. No, probably. I'll give him this. 930 before he retires. He'll hit 930, and then he retires and he's done. Because that will be very. Now remember too, hockey is different than when Gretzky played.
yeah.
Hockey is way different than it used to be.
Yeah.
Different rule sets. So you have to take that into account too. That it's a different time. I don't remember are they still doing the 2-line pass or did that stop?
That stopped.
Okay, good. So 2-line pass. Did
Because
they
I
get rid of the
remember
red
I
lines?
hated that.
Oh yeah, everybody did. That and is the red line still behind the goalpost where you cannot cross it unless you're the goalie?
No.
Or did they remove that?
They removed that.
Okay. See, I haven't kept up with hockey in a long time, so I don't know what's been there. But I mean, that's cool for. I mean, look, I was a Gretzky fan. I mean, he was a king for.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He was. I mean, it's why they call him the greatest. He is the GOAT of hockey.
Forever
I
will
mean,
be the
before-
GOAT, regardless.
Nobody could touch him. And the thing is, the guy was humble. He was not like some arrogant motherfucker.
Yeah.
He was humble about what he was able to accomplish.
Yep.
I mean, even though his record will be broken, it's like Babe Ruth. We still honor the Babe.
Yep.
We still honor that man for what he accomplished in his lifetime. Yes, it was a different way baseball was played. Doesn't matter. It's the same with hockey, and that is Gretzky did it first.
Yep.
He did it first, and that can never be taken away from him. All it's now is everybody's just second, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, big deal. Gretzky was the first. And I'm sure Gretzky was probably there, like, hell yeah.
He was there.
Congratulations. Yeah.
He was
probably-
there
congratulations,
for
dude.
when he tied it, and he was there when he broke it.
And he was like, yeah, I'll take it like a man. I'll shake your hand. And I'm sure Ovechkin was a fan of Gretzky. I'm sure it was like, dude, I just scored against my idol. You know, I just broke my idol's record. I mean, what hockey player in the world of hockey has never looked up to as to Gretzky? Like, honestly, even you did. You played hockey, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So you probably said, yeah, Gretzky's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He was
So,
one of
I
my
mean-
idols.
Yeah. So I mean, when you see this, like, it's cool that Ovechkin is the one. I mean, granted, no, it sucks that we're losing the title, but then again, Gretzky was the first. to do what
Records
he
are
did.
meant to fucking break. Regardless of the sport.
But some records that got broken were not legit in my book.
Yeah.
Therefore, fuck you.
Hey.
And I'm looking at you, Mr. Sosa. Looking at you.
So-
I'm looking at you. What's your nuts from Cardinalville? You know, you fucking cheaters.
You want to talk about records? What about that Shohei Ohtani deal from the LA Dodgers when he signed a $700 million contract with the Pearls?
Dude, I'll tell you this. When Kirby Puckett played for the Minnesota Twins, he was the first player in MLB history to get $1 million. The very first Major League Baseball player to get $1 million contract. Now we're talking $700 million. Are you fucking kidding me?
Shohei Ohtani,
How are
$700
you
million.
worth that? How are you worth that? What are you gonna do with that kind of money?
Juan
are you doing
Soto over the wintertime signed a $765 million contract with the New York Mets.
It's New York. What do you expect? It's New York. Even if it's the Mets or the Yankees or whomever, it doesn't fucking matter.
And then Toronto Blue Jays just signed Vladimir Guerrero to 14-year deal, $500 million. So yeah.
You know what you guys
MLB
need to do?
contracts are insane.
Dude, I wonder what's worse though. Are those contracts worse than NFL?
I think they're almost
There's
the
the great
same.
debate.
I
There's
think
the
they're
debate
almost
right
the
there.
same, to be fucking fair.
Yeah, they're insane. And NBA too. And NBA is just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hockey is
honestly-
way underpaid, to be fucking fair.
But the one
they're-
thing about and they have it depends though, because unless your team does really really well, you're
So
not gonna
here's
sell out.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. NHL has always been way undervalued, league wide. They play on ice, skates. You fucking die if you're not fucking careful within a matter of seconds.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a player who got slit in the throat because a guy actually launched up and fucking sliced him in the throat with his skates.
And the salary's not even the salary league wide in the NHL. It's not
Well, the
even
thing is, they
near
play-
$100 million all
Well, here's
these
the thing
years.
too. They only play what 82 games.
82 games.
Okay, 82 games, not including postseason and
Okay, sure.
Stanley Cup. Okay,
Sure.
So 82 games just in regular season.
Sure.
Baseball goes 162 without any kind of playoff, division, championship, and
Yeah.
that.
Sure.
NFL, roughly 17 games. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And the hockey is also so baseball is more than hockey. Now, granted, hockey can only plays certain times of the year. They play closer to winter. Baseball is basically through spring through nowadays through partial winter. But baseball has been around a lot longer than both NFL and
Oh, yeah.
Major League Baseball's been around a lot longer than hockey professionally
Yeah.
and football. Granted, you could say football's been around because of rugby.
Mhm.
I get that.
Yep.
And you could also say that but baseball goes back to stick and ball. Stick ball.
But yeah.
Honestly, I think this is where the problem comes in, though. Because for a baseball player to make that kind of money, I get it. That's 162 games. No, 162 games will break your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hockey will destroy your body
In a flash.
because of checking and boarding and fighting.
And
I mean,
accidental.
how many of these guys are high sticking? And yet, how many of these guys? Well, I mean, how many of these guys have tooth replacement surgeries?
Yeah.
Because most of their teeth have been knocked out. They're just gumming their food now. Football, you get pretty fucked up too. I mean, I watched was it Doug Flutie? Like literally got his shin snapped in half.
Dude,
During
you
the
can
play?
just die from the fucking field.
I watched Brett Favre. I remember watching Brett Favre. He got hit hard and fucking dislocated his pinky finger, where it was literally 90 degrees from where it was.
I mean, remember?
I watched him pop it back in the place. I'm like, fuck, ow.
Wasn't it just a couple of years ago when, what's his name, freaking almost died of a fucking heart attack?
Oh, that was
On
yeah,
the
that
field?
was that was
In
Jeffrey's
Buffalo?
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Jeffrey's team. Yeah, Buffalo Bills. Yeah, and he still denies to this day that it was the jab.
Yep.
And everybody knows no.
That was a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, caused by the jab. Everybody knew it. The problem was he wasn't allowed to say it because,
Oh, yeah.
high profile, kind of don't want to piss Pfizer off because guess who sponsors us? Pfizer sponsors us. That gives us money. So, yeah. But going back to the payout for hockey and baseball and football, honestly, Madonnas,
Yep.
you get a dick, which is mostly what I think hockey is probably the only one that's not full of prima donnas. Hockey I think is more honestly I think hockey is more the man sport than fucking basketball or baseball. Fight me in the comments, I dare you.
Yeah.
I actually prefer I've been to hockey games. I love hockey games. I really fucking enjoy hockey. I'll tell you what.
I do too.
When I was a kid, there was a little guy named Dino Cicerelli. Fucking dude was short as fuck. Watching him take, I don't remember who he was playing against. He was a Minnesota North Star. He took a guy, the opposing team, lifted him up over his head and body slammed him onto the ice. Pass. Fucking cool as shit. Watching that, I was live at that game when I was like, dude. Yes. I became a hockey fan. I was a fan of Cicerelli. He was a defensive man. He was not a forward. He's not a winger. He was a defense guy.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, you don't fuck with defensemen. Defensemen will fucking pound you.
See,
Now, I think isn't Ovechkin? Is he a wing or is he?
he's a wing. He's the center and
He's
a
a
wing,
wing?
technically. Well, more of a
Is he
wing.
captain?
Yes.
I'm assuming he's captain.
He's captain of the Caps.
Captain. Wow, there's the thing. Captain of Caps. Speaking of caps, go get yourself a snapback cap. 1K frequency merch. Just saying, 40% off.
Yep.
What a segue. I should be known as the king of segue.
I played when I was playing hockey. I played everywhere. I
Yeah.
played as a centerman.
What
I played on the wing.
what was your favorite position?
Technically, I was a offensive defenseman. But I will lay the body. I didn't give a damn.
You were a checker then. You were an enforcer.
I was a powerhouse. You could technically say I played all positions when I was playing hockey.
Okay, first of all, how tall are you?
5'8".
Okay. Yeah, you're.
I didn't give a damn.
You don't have to be tall to be an enforcer.
No.
Enforcers are
You
low to the
will
ground.
play grit. I played with fucking grit all my life.
Oh yeah, that's all you can do. Hockey is a dude. That's a mean sport.
Dude, even when I was playing with kids, right, same age as me, I didn't give a damn. You have the ball or the puck, I'm coming after you. Period. And I was lethal. I was completely lethal.
Why did you never try for?
I did. Health issues.
Ah.
Health issues stuff.
Did you actually try for the Maple Leafs or did you try for somebody else?
No.
Okay. You didn't go full pro yet. You didn't go that high.
But I was mean. No one wanted to play with me. That's my
And
biggest opponents.
you know back then your nickname Dazzo probably would have been a thing for the
No.
fans to love and watch.
Dazzo was not a thing.
I know, but wouldn't that have been funny though as hell?
That was
Your
called to
intro-
me.
Your intro
That
to
was
the ice. Your intro to the ice was something
that was Mean Ray.
Dazzo.
Mean Ray was the
Mean Ray.
nickname that everyone called me.
Wow.
I was MVP for 2 of the teams that I was playing on. And I was technically lead captain for both.
Sadly,
so-
because I can't skate worth a shit because I have very weak ankles. My skates are going inward, and I didn't really know how to strengthen them. I did if I ever played just regular ice hockey with no skates or whatever, we would do that shoe hockey or whatever you call it. I would do that. I actually felt more comfortable as a wing
Yeah.
than defense. Defense was a pain in the ass because I think my reaction time was just not as quick. But when I had the puck, I could move down the ice pretty well. And when I get my practice in floor hockey in school, when I was really young, I had a nasty slap shot. I had one that if you got hit in the face, you're done.
Dude, that's me.
You would lose teeth.
Dude,
You would be losing teeth with that hit.
that was me in freaking high school too when we had a floor hockey team. You would
I'm
not.
talking. Dude, I'm not talking hockey. I'm not talking high school. I'm talking fucking grade school. I'm talking I think 4th grade for me.
Even in grade school, I was pretty lethal back then.
Yeah.
Because when I
No,
grew
I
up, I always watched hockey, so I was like, hockey was in my blood.
The only thing I had to watch out for was because sometimes we would have the girls in the goal, which I felt. So, I'm like, sweetie,
Sorry, not sorry.
you're really cute. You're really cute, but I mean, if you want to go out with me, I promise not to slap. But if you don't want to go out with me,
God.
you'll probably get this in the face. Just saying.
Oh my god.
I tried to be like I wasn't trying to like actively be cruel, but I get very aggressive when it comes. I'm like, don't fuck with me. I just like this is my puck. I have a name. I have given my puck a name. This is my stick. I have given my stick a name. Don't fuck with me.
God.
And I got smart. I never was caught high sticking either. Ever had a high stick? I got damn close though because it did go just a smidge above my belt loop. But the other thing was too, I also learned really, really interestingly, when I would shoot, I actually had really good recovery. So if I whiffed, I could actually just quickly, like even if I was smart, I actually get off another shot. And usually it would sometimes tick the pipe. Otherwise, sometimes it would. Actually, the really funny one was it ticked the pipe, but it didn't go in, but it just barely crossed the line enough for it to count as a goal. And the goalie was not happy.
To be honest, any goalie would not be happy.
This was kids. This was kids. This was not an adult. This was kids. And maybe it was a pity give Skittle a point. I don't care. I took my point. I was happy.
Did you ever refereed?
I've never done that, and I don't ever want to be a referee because I don't think I have a favoritism attitude as some referees do. But I've never reffed.
I've done it when we were in middle school, and because we had like different freaking leagues when we were playing all the sports.
Sure,
dude.
Sure.
I reffed and I also play too, and I was like,
did you?
Yeah.
In Canada, do you guys have like Pee Wee League?
We do.
Okay.
We have all sorts of leagues.
Yeah, we do too. We have Pee Wee League, and then we've got like the various, like as you get older, you go into different leagues or whatever as you get older.
Yeah.
Pee Wee, I think, is the first one you start with.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the really tiny kid.
Yeah.
Like my cousins were avid hockey players, and they went from Pee Wee League all the way up. They never went pro, but they were through high school. They were all about hockey.
Yeah.
So I cannot imagine what it cost the parents, because that is the one sad thing that most people don't realize is that hockey gear is the most expensive. And pray to God your kid is never the goalie. Because that is the most. You're talking over $600 just for the rig. That's not including your stick.
That's all for the love of the game.
No, we don't have rich parents. Not if you don't have rich parents.
All for the love of the game, regardless.
Dude, I'm not mortgaging my house. I'm mortgaging my house for my kids to play hockey. All right, I draw the line somewhere. Line in the sand. I draw the line here. Do not cross it.
Go play golf.
No.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I can throw a golf club farther than I can hit a ball in golf. That should tell you all you need to know about my love for golf.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm one who fucking absolutely cheats my. I make it so it's not obvious. But I've been known to, if I did maybe 2 strokes, got a par, or double bogey, I'll take one of those and just give myself a bogey.
Hey Skittles, wanna come play PGA Tour 2K25?
You want to see your next birthday? You really want to go on that path? I can't even stall in K23 anymore. I mean, dude, if you're trying to seriously give me another, like, heart attack,
I'm kidding.
you're not much of a friend. Look, I'll do some Wreckfest, I'll do some Consim, Construction Simulator. I would this tells you how much golf bothers me. I would rather play Payday 2 than golf.
Damn.
That's fine. But anyway.
Anyways.
No, I actually, to be honest, I know it's really because I really suck at that game.
No, I get it.
I can't put myself through that. It was fun for a while, but then I was like, because I like bowling. I like do really really well in the early rounds, and then I just gradually suck, and I don't know enough about golf and understanding the physics of the different clubs you use, other than the putter and maybe the chip. But like, know the difference between. I mean, I understand the one is for long shots. Your woods are for your longer shots, and your irons are for mid-range shots. But it's knowing which ones to use, and because I suck in the real world with golf,
it
affects me.
I get it.
Oh. I know. I know what you're gonna. I think I know what you're gonna do.
What?
But I just know things. I'll leave it at that.
You know things.
I know. Anyway.
There it is.
Well, anyway.
Let's wrap it up.
Wish we should wrap it up. Yeah. It's really sad that our lovely Ember could not join us tonight, but that's okay.
I think she was worn out
She's your spirit.
From work.
Yeah. Probably too burned out for sure. Probably was a long day. Needs to chill.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the rant. Hope you enjoyed all the crazy stuff that we talked about. Obviously, we talked a lot about some games and some crazy stuff in the news and some tech stuff, like always. But hey, it's 1K frequency. This is what we do. And we make no apologies for it whatsoever. Be sure to check out our sweet 1K frequency merch, where you can enjoy a 40% off discount on select items. And also, make sure you tune in next time for the next edition of 1K Frequency. Huge thank you to the Executive Director, Dazzo, and owner of Dazzo Nation and 1K Frequency. I am, of course, Executive Producer, Skillahicks, and we are out. See you later.
Bye.